All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. What is up, guys? It is Uncle Bob, and welcome to the channel. Welcome back. We are here for Mission 7 of Advanced Wars, Replay Edition, Drunk Edition. Yeah, we've been playing one mission a week, every week on Saturday nights, here live, and yeah, today's mission 7 called History Lesson. I have already had my whiskey for the night. It is all done. I have finished to completion, as the president might say. And yeah, I'm ready for another segment. I'm ready for another map. We'll see if I'm able to get a first mission. Even while under the influence, I have been either tie my old scores or in some cases. And that feels really good. I know it's a replay. I know I've beaten this game before, but individual missions. A couple weeks ago, I forgot that and I think there might actually be another one somewhere. But I had forgotten that there was a mission where the goal is to capture more properties. So, though I have beaten this game, it was about 2 years ago, maybe a little bit more. And I played it as an actual game, like on the channel, not just, some Saturday night live event. So I finished it much quicker than I'm doing now. But it makes it fun. It gives me something to look forward to every week. Keep in mind, if you are somebody who is somehow, some way, you are an avid Advanced Wars watcher out there, always remember that because I only play this once a week, I am always, 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 always going to have the animations playing. I know when I know when, I don't know, at least for me, I've said this so many weeks in a row at this point, using the Advanced Wars games or any Fire Emblem games. I love using them for, what's it called? I like using them for, like, background ASMR purposes, especially while I'm asleep. And, wow, I just failed on that. I forgot what I was even bringing that up for. I know it was tied to something, but I'll wrap it around to the main point I was saying. I only play this once a week. The animations are part of what I love about it. I know for some people who might... Oh, yeah, that's why I was... I'll watch certain playthroughs, and I don't mind when people do on certain of these games where they just skip all the animations. And you gotta have animation. Now, if you're somebody who just loves watching people play these games, I get that might actually be a little bit annoying. I get where that might kind of be a time waster, but I only play this game once a week. I mean, I could play it more, but I like playing it the way I do. I like playing it just... I like playing it after a Saturday night, after a few drinks. It's the only night of the week I drink. I try not to drink. A couple weeks ago while I was on vacation for work, I drank once in the middle of the week. But other than that, Saturday is my days. So I like keeping this pattern. I like this setup that I got going right now. I'm very happy with it. But right out there. Hope everyone else is enjoying their Saturday night. All the people who are in here, all left. Haha. Well, it says right now there's one person, and they are the good person. They are the good boy. I know most people are just scrolling past as they go, so it's not like it's, Most people are just scrolling through the live feeds and seeing what catches their interest. But I'll give it about 10 more minutes, just chill. Make sure anybody, whether this is live or post, if you are not, subscribe to the channel, because all I do is play old games. I know this is the only thing that I live stream generally, but the rest of the week I am uploading every single day. Right now, the two games that I'm cycling through, my two main hitters, are Secret of Evermore and Final Fantasy IV. Or Final Fantasy II if you're from the USA. Final Fantasy IV I started earlier, so I am probably somewhere around halfway through that game, whereas Secret of Evermore I just started not too long ago. I only have like 3 hours and some change into Secret of Evermore. Final Fantasy IV, I have like 15 hours already plugged into it. So, I'm close to halfway, if not a little bit more, into Final Fantasy IV. So, if any of those games are what interest you, make sure you subscribe. But yeah, I get 3 days of Secret of Evermore right now, 3 days of Final Fantasy IV, and this is my sweet cheeks on Saturday. Oh, let my car warm up a little bit. I'll turn it off. If you can hear the background noise of it, my bad. But I'm laundry to finish, so I'm not gonna lie, I do not have a shirt to wear right now. So I am in my car, naked from the waist up. I'm shirtless. So car seats be a wee chilly, and my nipples a wee pointy. But we'll get there. We'll get better. I tried to have the heater on very low so you don't hear it fucking in the background. Oh. What a week. What a week. What a week. What a week. Hope everybody else had a good work week. Over at UP. Not passing that test. Very dull colors, not bright colors. Very dull, all of them. Monochromatic almost. And it is worrying. You know, we'll have to see what it brings, because you got temp workers coming in, and temp workers don't really care because they're temp workers. They're going to be in and out in a couple months. They're not going to care that much. They're here 5-6 weeks and that's it. The rest of us, this is our job. So, if you look at how many employees a warehouse has versus how many packages they get, and then if you were to do that ratio for peak season, generally you have to hire like way more than what you're supposed to. Just because they're temp workers, they're not going to do that good. You need them as just bodies. Just an extra set of hands, even if they're not going to be that efficient with it. If you had that many hands of actual workers, it'd go a lot differently. But, that's obviously not what the job can do. The job can't hire actual staff, well-trained, well-prepared for peak season, for the amount of money that would work out. But, with temp workers, it's nice and easy. Don't have to worry about them being on the union or nothing. But it's getting to be that time. Today I got up to my work area, and the area I work in usually has 2 people. I usually work sidekick position, which might actually be Not 100% positive. A little bit harder. Can I see? Nope. Look like we are not getting any chat today. No chat's going to pop up screen. Oh, well. But usually where I work in the warehouse, I am in the sidekick position. And usually where I work is the position I work in is called the auxiliary. And the superhero of the squad, of the two of us, of the duo, is called the main pick. Like you think like picking, like a tree picker, box picker. It's basically that's it. They're the main pick, and I'm the auxiliary. And usually, because when the warehouse starts the day up, packages take a little bit to get flowing at proper speed. So the main picks will usually come in like 15 minutes before I come in. And I came in, and nobody was up there. Nobody was holding down the auxiliary because it was busy. Nobody was doing the main pick. So when I got up to my work area on the conveyor belt, I just saw a snake of boxes going up this conveyor belt. And that took nearly 2 hours to finally get situated correctly. Because, a lot of the stuff to give, between the conveyor belt goes past me and then to the main guy. And in between us is maybe like 15 feet. So that 15 feet of space, if it's chock full of boxes, there's anything that I try to sort is just going to turn into a mess anyway. So for a while, I'm just having to throw shit down to where it can go on the return belt, which will usually it takes missorts, takes them back to the front of the warehouse. It gets resorted back to its proper area, and then you go from there. And then it goes to the delivery trucks. Well, I'm having to return everything just because there's so much stuff that the guy doing the other spot, he can't even sort through it fast enough. So I'm having to push all of it to get resorted. And we ended up catching up eventually once we got someone with real hands up there working, which was not me. It was someone else. But he's one of the guys that I'm used to working with. His name, it's the third one. It's the third Jake. I've talked about the other two. Both are supervisors. This one is just one that I work with. And he's a cool dude. But once he got up there, everything was fine. Everything course corrected itself just as it should. But, as it started to clear up, it sucked because it would have moments where it would flow like normal. And then all of a sudden, because everything's on conveyor belts. So after a while, once all the stuff had gone back to the front of the warehouse, gotten resorted, and come all the way back, after a little while of it being normal, you would just get hit with a wave. And it really sucked. And the both hopeful and depressing part, I only say depressing because, when you're, especially at work, when you're focused on something, even if it's getting better and better because your mind's locked in, you're just aggravated at it more for some reason. We would just keep getting these waves of the return packages coming back to us. But every time you could feel the wave getting smaller and smaller every time. Till eventually after an hour, 50 minutes into my shift, close to 2 hours, it was finally over. But, oh man, those first hours, because, where I'm standing, I'm like one story above the ground on just a platform, and boxes are falling all over me. Now, there's no risk to me falling. It's not like a dangerous platform, but, you're up high enough, and, the chances of you falling are not zero. There is a chance that it could always happen, but you're just surrounded by boxes. You can't move your feet, and Ugh. It was a lot of fun. It was a very active and very hard-working shift today. It's nice. It's a little nicer on my pocketbook long run. But, when I worked at the old warehouse, I always had time to, on break to go out to the car, ooh, hello. I got to go up to the car, go, and, that was all well and good. That was a lot of fun. But here, because the warehouse I work in is so big, there's no, uh, there's no way for me where I work to go out to my car, have a smoke, and come back. There are people who work in the warehouse who work in areas that they can do that, but where I work usually doesn't. So I have learned to opt for the next best thing, which is to just freeze one of the belts, hit the... When I say emergency switch, it's not like an actual emergency switch. We just lock the whole thing down, and it can only be restarted once you unlock your your stopper. And I'll just stop the belt. I'll usually spend like the last half hour before break keeping an eye out, and I'll find a package that's just fluffy enough to be like a pillow, and I will just lay on the conveyor belt and just take myself a nice long, well, not long, it's 10 minutes, but I'll take myself a nice 10-minute nappy. And bro, I look forward to those 10-minute naps every day. All right, Mission 7 history lesson. Yaha! Ha ha ha! Almost lost my lighter, my spark of life. Looks like we'll be facing Grit next. Is he the guy that keeps calling me Junior? Do you know him or something? He's a very Luffy-coded character. He's a little goofball. He, Nell, and I used to be friends. He was always a tough one to figure out, but this Blue Moon stuff... Listen, Grit is here just for the paycheck. Why is he working for Blue Moon? That's something I'd like to ask him myself. That's why you gotta let me face it, Andy! Alright, B. Will this be another mission that I actually am able to get a higher grade on? Alright, I will take that one sec. Take a couple quick drags, and then we shall commence. Today. What? Am I dumb? Am I fucking stupid? I'm gonna have to run inside and go find this bag real quick. What? I could have sworn I had that shit. Well, give me 1 second. Not like anybody's gonna be in here to fuck with anything. Alright, yeah, let me just go check inside real quick. Wee! Sweet! Alright. My bad. I did find the bag I was looking for. And it also smells like, unlike the bag that I have, that it may smell like a skunk, but is not actually a skunk. Outside, it smells like an actual skunk. So I definitely need to watch out, because the last thing I want to have done to me is get sprayed by a motherfucking skunk. Alright, now I gotta find the rest of my shit again because I'm so dumb. That's what we get for being under the influence. This must have been how Winston Churchill felt trying to make battle plans. Come on. I was going to pretend to do a Winston Churchill impression, but I can't do a British accent. You know, other than like, bottle of water. Like, other than that, I'm good. I'm not a... I can't do many accents. Not ones that will get me in a lot of trouble anyway. Oh yeah, that's better. That's the good stuff. Perfectly legal in the state of Illinois. Alright, sorry, I didn't want to talk in the mic. Or not talk, cough. Reefs here, woods there, hiding places everywhere. Man, this place was made for Grit and his indirect combat units. I really just wanted to rush in and get stomping, but the smart thing to do is use the terrain and creep up on him. Yep, that's the best plan. Let's move out. Alright, so I'm definitely going to probably have to redo this mission more than one time. Alright, we're going to do... Let's put a medium tank on here. And a recon. Alright, put you here. Cool. No, sir. That's where I need you, right there. Alright, he shouldn't be able to see into the reefs whether he can see me or not. Well, here I am again. This whole thing don't sit well with me, but I guess I gotta stop fooling around. Alright. Let's take out their lander. That's actually a very good idea. That should not hurt at all. Yeah. There we go. That's exactly who I want there, though. Even if Max is not good with the indirect units, we are going to use those indirect units. I definitely need to get him... Okay. All right. All right. That does a lot of damage. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. But there's definitely someone right in one of these three. There's a battleship in one of those. High defense, baby. High defense. High defense. Wow. Insulting. Ooh, yeah, that's a bad one. That's a bad one. That's hilarious. That's actually pretty funny. All right, smack him. Just kill him. Just kill him. Oh, 157 per fuck you. Haha. Bitch. All right, just stop you from catching an island. I don't even know if they have any bases this round. Do they have any bases? No, so capturing buildings isn't actually going to do anything. Oh boy. Never mind. We're good still. We're good still. We're good still. 5% damage, I'll do 5% damage. Whatever wastes his time. I never actually took a real consideration into what this map was or what we were doing. Oh boy, there's going to be something he's got that's going to do a lot of damage. Damn. Sinking a cruiser with an artillery. That's wild, bro. That's dumb. That's really dumb. Oh boy, that would have been fun to do that again. Because I've done that before. Fuck it. Do that damage, baby. Do that damage. I'm being a little dumb. I'm being a little stupid. I'm not being as wise as I ought be being right now. I don't know. Trap, yeah, for who? For who? That ain't for me. All right. All right, let's start creeping up over here. Bring a big gun. Hmm. Hmm. Mm. Okay, hopefully, I'm hoping that would be really nice if this were to work out the way that I have it working out in my head. Ooh. Damn. Okay, that didn't work in the least. Over right by the base, he's got some artillery units that are hungry. All right, can you please take out the cruiser? Excellent. All right, get rid of their lander. Not like he's moving it anyway, but you know, just to be rid of the damn thing. Fuck. That's where he is, this motherfucker. Ooh, I'm gonna fuck you up. Okay, alright, alright. That was what was giving me such a hard time. Makes me very nervous for what he's going to have just lying in wait around the area. Especially when I've lost so many that I didn't want to lose. Bro. Chop it down to size a little bit. Jesus Christ. Use my less reliable indirect fire. Okay, alright. A battleship. That's concerning. Alright, I may be on the cusp of getting this. Maybe. There's a part of me that feels like I'm gonna have to redo this. He should already be going up north. He's not in the fucking thing. That's all right. None of this is working out how I want. This is all ass. Alright, superpower force. Alright, sayonara. Alright, loop you up here. Alright, 9, that is close enough. Ooh, no, 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 no. Yeah, don't make me laugh with that, though. Don't do that. Alright, first smack the shit out of him. Cool. Alright. Definitely getting a low rank on this. Ooh, boy, is it going to be a low rank on this one. This was not a great showing. Well, guess what? You can see me, I can see you, motherfucker. And I promise I'm going to do more damage than you. Even indirectly. Damn. Who's he going to hit? Bro, that far out of the way, not able to do shit. But he popped off one character. Alright, day 19. I feel like that was a long time. I think this map was bad. Like, I won, but I could have been a little more proud of myself in the end. But capture, win, that's all that matters. Okay, Grit, now you're going to answer some questions. Why in blazes did you go over to Blue Moon? Alright, I'm not gonna voice act all this melodrama. Ooh, leave us alone for a minute. Is Grit lying? Is Grit lying? Yep, that was a bad grade. That was a bad grade. Power, good, because I'm always smashing enemy units. But, yeah, that was not a good showing. I was not incredibly proud of that one there. No? No chat? Still no chat? Weird. Usually that pops it up. Ooh, I need to do that. All right. I'm just gonna leave this right here. Next is I'm doing a Sammy mission next. Like I said before, I don't know if this is true. Somebody could tell me later if this is true or not. I'm not sure. I read it's true, supposedly, allegedly, but allegedly, after you beat the game, because my whole goal is to. I want to do. What's the Oh yeah, the last map is called Rivals, which it's a map you're only supposed to be able to do. It's Andy versus Eagle. And you can only do that map once you have done all the other maps in the game. So obviously that's like a real tantalizing, reward. Now, I don't know if this is true, but again, supposedly, once you beat the game, all of the missions on all these branching paths here, I don't need the camera on if I'm going to have it pointed at the ceiling here. The gameplay's over. Supposedly at the end of the game, you can once you've beaten it, all the branching paths that you didn't take open up to you, and you're able to do all the missions you didn't get a chance to do. Now, I'm not sure. This is not really a branching path, because not all of them are branching paths, because sometimes it's like this, where every mission has, or the same mission has multiple characters you could do it with. So, it'll be we'll figure it out. I'm hoping that's what it is. I'm really, really hoping that's what it is. But, I obviously won't know until I get there. I gotta actually beat the game before I do anything like that. So, who just walked up and... Is that my roommate? I couldn't tell if that was him or not. I don't have either of my contacts in, actually. It looked like him. I just didn't see him come out, so priest me. Ooh, I almost honked my horn. We don't need to be honking the horn at 11:50 at night. But yeah, since I didn't save, I'm going to be very wary about doing anything because I wanted to reset the game and go and buy some war room maps or a war room map, but I don't want to touch that for now. So I'm just going to leave this here, which unfortunately means I probably won't get any, because occasionally I will play a verse mode map during the week with this game, but I'm not gonna do that this week if it means potentially losing that mission, even though I could definitely do it better. I didn't take it as unseriously as I did the last grit verse max mission I did. The last one I had to redo. But this one I came close. I came close to having to redo it. I just wasn't paying as much attention as I should have been paying. You know, that artillery that was on the same island where my base was, that was really the one that got me. Because he was hitting a lot of shit for no reason. But I do just have to be a bit more cautious. Just a bit. I'm just being a little too gung-ho. A little more reserved. A little more waiting, a little more letting the enemy come to me and then just swallowing them up. It is almost time for bed. Almost time for sleep. I can feel it. I was supposed to watch an episode of Dan with my buddy, but I think he passed out. Who knows? Maybe in the last almost hour he's woken up since then. But yeah, we just started season 2 of that show, and we're going to be continuing along. Episode 2. Kind of annoyed that, like, the first season was good, but I guess it's part of the deal with shows just sort of becoming seasonal, and how that doesn't really, like, how do I put it? Like with Dan, between the 2 seasons that are out, season 1 doesn't feel like it ends on like a significant season type of format. It just feels like another episode, and then episode 1 of season 2 feels just like another episode. So it's like it's just one of those vibes where it's like, if you're gonna do it like that, I almost wish it was just released weekly and not seasonal. But it's also animated really well, so I guess I'll just have to take it. You know, I talked about before, it's part of what makes it the news that One Piece is going seasonal. That's what makes it so worrying, because I've been watching 2 episodes a week for like 3 years now, and that basically puts me on a timetable of, you know, Oda has like, okay, someone's calling me. I guess it's about time for me to go anyway, so hopefully they stop. Go away. I can't check it because this is obviously, you know, a screen recorder, so I don't need y'all seeing phone numbers. But that basically gives it a hard level cap to whereby, like, Oda has 8 years. Like, the anime itself has like 8 years to finish before I catch up to where it is now. And then it's only got like 2 more. Oda basically has 8 years, 10 years to finish One Piece. And that makes me very nervous, because I'm not sure if even 10 years is going to be enough time to finish this shit at this rate. So it makes me very worried. But no, it's just one of those things where it's like, if it looks good enough, I may be at episode 300 something of One Piece, but I see all of the clips and snippets that they show of, the animation quality now. And, listen, if they want to refine that, then you know what? I guess if I become a week to weeker, then so fucking be it. If waiting for the show to be, by the time I started watching it, like, if 23 years of waiting wasn't long enough to wait, I mean, I only waited like 18 out of those 23 years or whatever. If that wasn't enough time to wait, then fuck it. Then I'll become week to week in the end. But I waited so long that was the whole point, was for it to not be week to week. But who knows? Maybe I'll stretch it out by watching a bunch of those. There's like a bunch of, like, not even filler episodes, but episodes that'll just show, I think, like, random recaps on off weeks. Maybe I'll add those. I don't know. I gotta figure out something. But whatever. That'll be something to figure out when the time comes. But that is it for the day, guys. It was fun. I enjoyed myself. We not barely scooted by. I still had quite a bit of units, and I think I would have won. But I don't know. There is something about grit that, especially when I'm maxi, is just, I mean, maybe, not maybe. It's a strategical weakness on the part of the game developer. Like, they take advantage of that. I just got to be a lot smarter when I'm going against grit. Just his extra long range with his ranged guys. Just use terrain. Use terrain. Use terrain. Let enemies come to you. He's already a lay back and wait sort of guy. So if I can outweight him, I can swallow everything up. I did it plenty of times. But I just got to be more careful. I'm usually a lot more careful than that. But, when you had a few, you lose sight a little bit. And that's not good because, these ones and zeros are digital soldiers. And we can't just be throwing their lives into the meat grinder like this. We can't do it. We can't do it. But, yeah, that is it, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with... What am I playing tomorrow? Well, it's not live, but I'll be uploading or recording Secret of Evermore. So I shall fight more monsters with dog and boy. So, yeah, right now the schedule is Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday is Secret of Evermore. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Final Fantasy IV. And then, obviously, Saturdays, we got this bad boy right here, present and accounted for. But yeah, those are the three big games in the lineup right now. I'm trying to figure out what I want to play after one of those games finished, which is probably going to be Final Fantasy IV first. But being already halfway through that game, I already got to start considering, what I'm going to be doing after that. So I think one of the next games I want to play, because I started playing it recently, and then I had lost some of the footage and then just deleted I had only had like 4 videos up. It's not like I had played a whole bunch, but I think I'm going to restart Dragon Quest II. Get some Toriyama artwork in there, because, you play a game and you see Toriyama's artwork every time you fight enemies. You see his trademark style in all the monsters you fight, and it just feels good, right in the corazon. So yeah, but I gotta get over the 2 games that I got going now, so that'll probably come after Final Fantasy IV. But Secret of Evermore is tomorrow. I will record and upload that. Um, Come back next week, Saturday night, and I will be back for Mission 8, whatever it's called. I don't want to, because I put no to saving, I don't want to touch anything. So